Hey everyone, this is just an overview and a sample for excursion providers. Now we're trying to hit a broad range here, so just giving you a bit of advice on some things to consider for how you might lay out your listings. Now, this sample here shows you a camp as an example of a pretty common excursion. Now you can see in the details here, we've tried to break down some of the basic things that you would need to know. We definitely think that other forms would be really worthwhile having here. Also the major filters, such as the program type, as we've sort of mentioned in the past, excursions can also fit into the school holiday or after school category. For those that might be marketing to out of school centres, it could be a really good market to further expand into. The suitable stages could be arranged depending on whether or not you want to advertise one camp or multiple camps that are distinctly different between the ages. We always would recommend the latter just because it fills up the website. It helps for the search engine to be more relevant for when people search for specific camps. And it also gives you more presence on the platform because your organization's name will always be there in the search results. So one of the other major areas too is what kind of resources you actually already provide or what's accessible, because especially for excursions, that's something that can really determine things like the change in the cost. Now here we've tried to be broad and flexible here and saying that, well, it depends on which program you do as to the price and what that includes with it. But again, you can fill up this detailed description box as much as you like, really, and you have a lot of flexibility with how you want to organize it. We've provided the business hours so that we can also have the appointment bookings here. And when we've done that, if we take a look, once you click appointments and you go to settings on the right, the maximum duration at the moment is 90 minutes. That kind of gives you a bit more flexibility. If you can only take a certain amount of students, then perhaps it'll kind of restrict your amount of bookings that you can get for a particular day. But once you select the listing, it'll pop up there based on that. And as we've said, that'll appear in your calendar with details. So if we come to the edit listing, as we've sort of mentioned here, the most important things, definitely a title, your organization name, things like your address and the actual location, so it's easier to find you in that location filter at the top here. You'll be more likely to appear either here or in the near me section, for instance. A website. Some of these, we always think the social media, for those of you that have pretty common listings across your organization, then perhaps just relying on the social media links on your profile is good enough. Here, often we'll have excursions will fit PDHBE a lot of the time and well-being. The well-being areas, if you can tick them, then definitely put it as a KLA because you're going to help well-being teachers to find camps that might be relevant, for instance, or programs that are relevant. You could always have after school. Some excursions are done just after school, but definitely tick both because it's still, as a teacher, for instance, it's always going to be referred to as an excursion and have to go through the processes. The guides here for the details should help you. You can kind of use this as a bit of a checklist if there's dates that matter. Risk management plans we think are really important. You might have other sort of booking forms. Maybe there's medical forms or food allergy forms that you would like to include links to here, and you can do that there. Syllabus outcomes can be a little bit more difficult for things like camps, but we're always happy to get some advice, or if you want to seek some advice from us, we're more than happy to try and help you out there. And particularly the relevant things we would say is probably student equipment and travel information. If you have a partner bus company or something like that that you link up to, you can always put those links here as well and put that information there. The rest of this is pretty self-explanatory if you have any videos, of course, but those are probably the most relevant things. As we mentioned with the profile, if you want to save yourself a bit of time, you can always have some of those links there and you don't have to add them here. Or those forms you can also have appear in your About Me section if there's some stock standard forms and links that you have there. So hopefully this has given you a bit of a guide and things to think about if you're doing any excursion. A lot of the things that we've just gone through apply beyond just what a camp might offer. And we're planning on putting out some sort of risk management plans and things like that based on what the department has somewhere on the website, probably in the About Us section in future, to further guide you and make it a little bit easier to support teachers or out of school care staff, because the more of those things that you've done, the easier it is to cut down on admin time and the better your reputation is going to be, and you're definitely going to be more likely to get return business and lots of great reviews and much more word of mouth. So we hope that's really useful, and as with anything, we're always happy to get feedback in the contact us section. If there's some areas that you want to help us, give us some ideas about that might be more applicable for you, feel free to add them there and send us a bit of a comment. All right, best of luck.